Edward Laos. Welcome to Travel Talk, filmed at the Peachtree Rose Marketing Studios and hosted by the hotel guide publisher, Edward Laos.
Good afternoon, everybody. Edward Laos here, publisher of the Hotel Guide and your host of Travel Talk. I am really excited about today's episode. I've got a good friend that I've just met, and we were talking offline about some of the great things both of our companies are going to be doing. But I'm looking so excited and so forward to this podcast. But Annie, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Edward. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited about today's episode. We've got a mutual friend of ours connected us, one of my board of advisors, who is just one of the greatest in the world. And so I'm so thankful that she did that. You have an amazing company that I can't wait to let our audience know about. But before we get to that, I know all of our audience is like, well, who are you talking to, Edward? So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Annie, how you got to become CEO of the company you're at now, and then we'll get into some of the business side of that as well.
Sure. Well, first of all, I am so happy to be here, and it is such an honor to be a guest on your podcast. So thank you for that. But yeah, a little bit about me. I am a Colorado girl. I was raised in the mountains by a nature-loving single mom who did her best to get me up into the mountains every chance she got. I'm an avid skier. I'm a snowboarder. I love to hike. I also have a dad who raised me. They were divorced, but he's an entrepreneur. So I like to say I'm a little mix of both. My mom was a real creative who raised us in hospitality. She was a high-end waitress, and that's how she paid the bills and took great care of us. And then my dad over here was a successful entrepreneur. So I think I'm kind of an equal mix of the both of them. So raised in Denver and then met a Chicago boy. And now I'm living in Chicago. If you would have told me that 20 years ago that I would be living in Chicago, I would have told you you're crazy. But here I am. And I have to say, I absolutely love it. We're in a little village on Lake Michigan, and it is a really spectacular part of nature. So I don't have my mountains, but I have the lake, and I've learned to really, really love that. And we'll be back in Denver someday. So that's part of the greater goal later on. But I think as a person, I'm very, very curious. And what I've realized, I always want to see what's on the other side of the door. I always want to see what's around the corner. And I think that's why I crave new experiences. Yeah. And the best way that I can have new experiences is really through travel. And then there's also the part of me that is fiercely optimistic. I'm probably a little bit too idealistic, people have said at times, but I think that's why I think that anything is possible and anything is attainable. So the curiosity is where I came to travel, and the anything is possible brought me to, I can launch a startup and it will be successful. So here I am with Pinerary.
Oh no, I'm excited to talk about that. Now you did a great segue into leading us to the business side of things. So why don't you tell our audience a little bit about Pinerary and what you're doing and how that affects with some of our audience and how they could be a part of that?
Sure. So I came to Pinerary because, well, first of all, I love travel. And I think a lot of people really love travel because they yearn for connection. Travel is the best way that we can connect with people that we love. We get out of our day-to-day. Everyone's off of their phones for the most part. We're somewhere else, and we can really connect with those people that we love. We can connect with ourselves in a deeper way, and then people that we meet around the world. And what happens from this are these beautiful stories, right? These beautiful stories are made when we travel. I came to the idea of Pinerary because we had a 5-day trip to Portugal planned for my husband's MBA. And I was really frustrated with trying to plan this, in a 5-day box trip to Portugal. And so I started looking online, looking at all of the usual sources, looking at influencers, looking at bloggers, looking at, just media outlets, right? Trying to collect as much data as I could, TripAdvisor reviews. And then, of course, what do? I talk to someone who's been to Portugal, right? We love talking to friends and people that we know about travel. And the trip went well. But there were some things that I would have changed. And on the back end, it really brought me to what what there needed to be, what we needed to create to solve this problem. And it was, there needs to be a space where people can go and see people's experiences, what they loved, what they didn't like, and what they do differently next time within this box, in this travel window. And so that's how I came to create Pinerary.
Now, that's an amazing idea. And we have a little bit similar things when it comes to the hotel guide. We have our experiences section. So I like to always say it's travelers learning from travelers, but you're really taking it to a whole nother level, which I really admire. So when a guest or if someone goes to your website, what can they expect from you and how it could help them?
Sure, sure. So you will go on Pinerary and you'll be able to search any destination, or maybe you're just feeling a certain way. Maybe you are looking for a chill vacation. You can search for vacation ideas through vibes, travel vibe, the way that you're feeling, or through that specific destination that you're looking for. And up you'll see these stories that people have shared with all of this information. So you can come and share your stories with us. We keep them in your user profile, well organized, like a digital travel journal. You can share these stories with friends and family at any time. You can find other stories and use them to plan your next getaway. But really what it comes down to is you're sharing your story, and through this really seamless process that we've created through our tech, out comes this itinerary that you can share with friends and family without losing the story, without you losing the story behind the itinerary, which is what we are.
Yeah, no, I love that perspective and how you're doing that. How many people do you have actually using and coming and taking a look in and putting their itineraries on there for other people to know about?
Sure. We've had about 2,800 unique visitors a month. So we are just getting going. We're getting a lot of people, a lot of eyes on our platform. And this is just from our initial MVP, which is really exciting. So we are going to be building an app and iterating and using AI to enhance the process of sharing our stories and just making the overall user experience really delightful. I'm super excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing the app and anything else, are there any other big things on tap for not just the rest of this year, but maybe into 2026?
Sure. So, in addition to building the app, we are just going to be further integrating and implementing AI into our platform to, like I said, enhance the user platform and the user experience, but also some really exciting things on the back end. What we've really found with these user stories is that there are so many beautiful gems, and the travel recommendations that people are sharing mean so much because they're so authentic. So we are going to be working with hospitality brands and travel brands to collect these user generated stories because they're such an incredible way to for brands to connect with travelers and to amplify their brands through these stories on our platform.
Oh, wow, that's a great idea. I love that for sure, and I can't wait to see some of the rolling out of all these great things that you have on tap. So,
Yes,
let's
we're
switch a
super
little
excited.
bit from the business side to the personal side because I always love to talk about travel from our guests because I think that's why we're here.
Yeah.
But tell me some of your favorite travel destinations that you've been to so far.
Gosh, there are so many places that I want to go. Really just started traveling more so in my adult life. So there's plenty of places on that list. But I have to say, a trip that I took in the past couple of years was with my daughter, my older daughter, who's in college. We took a mother daughter hiking trip to Switzerland, and it was absolutely magical. It had been on my list, and I have to say, it was life changing. She's like my mini me. She loves the outdoors like I do. So, hiking through the Swiss Alps was incredible. We visited the Escher Gust House, which is above the Sea Lake. I don't know if you've ever seen that really iconic photograph of the guest house kind of on the ledge of the cliff in
Yes.
Switzerland. So we were able to hike up to that. But really, moreover, it was like the journey up to that guest house, which was so incredible. We were able to see generations of families bringing the cows down from the high pastures with the big giant cowbells to the lower pastures as it was late summer, And that was really an ethereal experience that I will never, ever forget.
Oh, I can imagine. It sounds magnificent just you talking about it. So we
It
went
was.
from where you've been. What are some of your bucket list travel ideas?
Oh gosh, there are so many. I would have to say, this is I would really love to visit Necker Island, Richard Branson's, and his headquarters there, or whatever
Yeah,
his family lodges. I would love to be invited by Richard Branson to stay on Necker Island. However, I don't want to just stay there. You can actually rent out a villa on Necker Island, but I would love to be invited by Richard Branson, and bring my family to Necker Island and really experience his beautiful place in the BVI's. That would be
that
a blast.
yeah, that would be. And out of my 100+ guests, you're the first person to say that was their bucket list item. So that makes
I
you
love
unique
Richard
as
Branson.
always. So that's awesome. Pretty cool. We got a couple of minutes left, but any final thoughts on the business, how people can engage with you, and just ways they can find you as well?
Sure, sure. Yeah, just you can look us up online. We're at pinerary.com. You can follow us on social media. You'll see that we share a lot about creators' trips. We do connect with creators and influencers because they're travelers just like us. And we can connect them to hospitality brands as well. But we talk about, travelers, whether we're an influencer or not. We love sharing and highlighting those trips on socials. But our platform is pretty phenomenal. So we invite anybody to come and share a favorite trip that they've just went on and inspire our audience and become connected in our community.
Yeah, that sounds such a great idea. I'm gonna throw a question at you that you didn't know that I was gonna ask you.
Oh boy.
But this should be a good one. You're a creative and an entrepreneur. But what one word best describes your business?
Oh, gosh. I would have to say community. We are a community. I mean, community is so important in
Mhm.
our own lives, and people want to be connected to other people. And if you can successfully create a community first in
Mhm.
a SaaS platform, I think that you can be truly successful. But you have to focus on connecting people and creating a community, and that's really what I'm driven to do.
Well, that's great. And I love the word choice. Good job. And I think the community aspect is travel, community aspect and the experiential side of things. You being able to combine those two into a business that not only you love doing, but also that you love to build, I think is an amazing testament to who you are. And going back to your parents, I mean, you're a mesh of the two of them. So that's even better. But again,
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast today.
So great to talk to you today, Edward. Thank you so much. It was so
Oh,
fun.
yeah, it's been really exciting. I know it won't be the last time that you're on our podcast because I know there's going to be so much good things coming from you that we're going to have you back on. But again, to all of our listeners, readers, everybody out there, you know the drill. Thehotelguide.com is where you find us. Please like, subscribe, share this video. Go check out the website too. We're going to have all of our contact information for Annie in the show notes. So please take a look at that. Follow them on all the socials as well. But again, we're excited. We want to make sure that everybody travels, makes memories. And until next time, everyone, take care.
Thanks.